Hey mister, you want some white? Hey mister, you want some white?
Woo! What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Hold on. Make sure my sound's right. All right, we good. All right. So, what's going on, everybody? What's going on? What's going on? That is in the building. We are back here once again. And man, oh man, what a 24 hours it has been. What a 24 hours it has been for one particular man. Now, last night we talked about the big news that happened last night, and man, I was told yesterday after Raw went off the air that wrestling Twitter was on fire, and I did not see any of it. However, today I made sure I check and I check and I check again. And man, when I tell you that sometimes, just sometimes, wrestling Twitter can be a damn hoot to see, today was one of those days. When I tell y'all, I was laughing my ass off day, all day, because ever since the announcement of John Cena and CM Punk for the WWE title at Blood Money, whatever number they're on this year, man, when I tell y'all, man, the wrestling community was okay. So there was at first an uproar, but then today it was just straight up roasting for one particular man. And his name is CM Punk. And again, y'all, when I tell y'all, man, wrestling Twitter has been on fire with the roasting of this dude, CM Punk. This is just one of them. And we got a whole lot to cover as far as the roasting goes. And there's just so much roasting going on with CM Punk. I can't cover all of it here. I wish I could. If I had a crystal ball that would have told me today was going to happen as it was today, I would have dedicated this whole entire show just for the roast. Just for the roast. But let's cover some things as far as the backlash goes. Now, on Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer says he, which is CM Punk, could could not go to Saudi Arabia if he really wanted to not go. He was going months ago. I already asked about a couple of months ago when the show was first talked about, and he was in the original promo package, and then he was taken out of the promo package. And I asked, am I supposed to see when Seth Rollins replaced him in that promo package that he's not going? And it's like, nope, he's going. So it's been known he's been going for months, probably all along. I don't know if he ever voiced any issue with it going at any point since he signed, but he hasn't in months. I know that. So we already know right off top. We already know right off top that CM Punk was gonna go months in advance. So anybody thinking that, it's probably a work or where the case is, no, he was gonna go months ago. Now, the question now becomes for certain people out here, what is it about this guy that's having people in such an uproar? Because it's not like this is the first time WWE has done a blood money show. It's not like we saw numerous people go to these blood money shows. What's so different with CM Punk? What's so different? Okay, well, I'm pretty much going to entertain that because the roast afterwards is going to be even more funnier here. Okay, it's going to be even more funnier here. So let's go with context. And it's not going to be the type of context that a lot of y'all think it might be. But let's start off with the obvious one here. As y'all know, this is the infamous tweet that CM Punk put out in response to The Miz. Now, Miz was being The Miz. I really didn't see this as The Miz taking a shot at Punk. It was more so of him responding to the fan base with this tweet that The Miz did. Or not that The Miz did, but what The Miz said as a quote. And CM Punk, for whatever reason, wanted to do this quote tweet saying, go suck a blood money covered you know what in Saudi Arabia You fucking dork. Now, that was the infamous tweet. And this gave CM Punk a lot of brownie points with a lot of people because, as we all know, Saudi Arabia is really not the best place. WWE going to Saudi Arabia, aka blood money, has been a controversial thing for years now. Got to the point where some people wanted to boycott even watching WWE at the time. And there's some people still to this day that don't want to watch a blood money show, which is understandable here. But here's the thing, it doesn't stop with that tweet. A lot of people refer to that tweet, but this wasn't just it. You guys got to look at this for how it is. Because, see, CM Punk wants to portray himself as some like this moral, high complex type of dude in his own little way. In his own little way. Now, granted, we all have our morals, we have our standards and stuff like this, but a lot of us don't go out of our way to make it known what don't we don't go out of our way to make it known to the public on what we stand on at times. Sometimes we keep it on the low unless it's needed to, then we'll say something, just like us regular human beings do. But CM Punk is a different type of cat. He likes to be validated by the public. He likes to be validated by certain people in a certain group or certain number of groups. And when he was in AEW in particular, with Tony Khan basically just giving the ranks to CM Punk while he was there, pretty much CM Punk can do whatever he wanted in AEW before he went too far for putting his hands on Tony Khan and Tony Khan, quote unquote, fearing for his life. So what examples are this that CM Punk has done that end up biting him in the ass? Let's look at Exhibit A. Now, shout out to Dreammaker. But look at this. And you guys will see a pattern here as we move forward. You see this? CM Punk has a abortions rights are human rights t-shirt. You look on the right. Get your own, then tell it what to do. So clearly CM Punk is making it known to everybody out in the public with a t-shirt. Keep in mind, this was on AEW television as well. It's not like he's out in the street and someone took a picture of him. No, he's doing this on national television so everybody can see what he's about. Okay. Nothing wrong with showing what you're about. Nothing wrong with showcasing what you believe in or what you're standing up for and whatnot. No problem doing that. No problem doing that. But see, we have to keep going because we're not done. Because keep in mind, this one is more so about him sticking up for women, for women's rights. Let's keep going. Now, as you can see, the CM Punk is wearing a t-shirt, but not just any type of t-shirt. You got to pay attention to the colors here. Now, again, there's nothing wrong with standing up for what you believe in, having your certain beliefs, standing up for certain things. Nothing wrong with that. But again, let's keep this in mind. CM Punk is on national television, on AEW television at that. You could tell that this was at Collision, so this was when CM Punk was really at the height of his power or ranking here. Collision being his own show and telling certain people that, hey, we don't do that here. So CM Punk is out here wearing not just any type of t-shirt, but if you look at the colors, this is for trans people. For trans people. Now, again, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not here to be all political, but again, we're just having a theme here. We just need a little theme. We need a little theme here. So far, we are establishing that CM Punk is out here showcasing himself on national television in front of everybody to let it be known, hey, I'm for the women and I'm for trans. Let's keep going. Now, as you can see, this is the same shirt, but look at the back. I'm a collision girl. Man. Mm, mm, mm. I'm a collision girl. Again, this is at the height of his ranking here. So yeah, he's just making it known on what he's about. Let's keep going. Here he is here again. Trans rights are human rights with a fan here. Again, there's nothing wrong with any of this. There's nothing wrong with this at all. Nothing wrong with this. I'm not here to tell people on what to believe or what to stand up for. Hey, it's a free country. I'm not here to give you my political beliefs. Again, all this is fine and well. All this is fine and well. But let's keep it going. Support LGBTQ youth. Now, this one here was a very controversial one. This got a lot of people in a lot. This got people in a lot of an uproar. Again, this was in AEW. Now, from what I understand, this was not shown on AEW television. This was more so after the show got put off the air. But keep in mind, CM Punk grabbed this sign from a fan and he's showcasing it out to everybody that's in the building. Again, there's nothing wrong with this. There's nothing wrong with this. So let's recap here. He's about trans. He's about the LGBTQ community. And he's about women. So what's the problem here? The problem is you go into a place, and again, we are going to keep it real here on this damn platform because ain't no way in hell that I'm going to subject myself to buying the WWE's propaganda bullshit when it comes to going to Saudi Arabia and doing these blood money shows, and they try and do all these video packages and all this other garbage about, oh yeah, if you come over here, no. Let's keep it real here. This fucking place that CM Punk goes to hates women. They hate gays. They hate trans people. And yet, when you want to do a tweet like this towards the Miz, you made yourself known what you stand for. But here we go. Fast forward 5 years later, and you're in bed with these motherfuckers. That's the problem. That overall is the main problem here, is that CM Punk wants to present himself as a guy of morals and standards and all this other stuff. And I'm sure there are other people in WWE over the years that had some same type of stance, but they didn't make themselves known like this, like CM Punk has done out here. Point blank, period. Point blank, period. This is the problem. And this is why there was a complete meltdown on Twitter last night. And after the dust was settled and they realized what the hell happened, certain CM Punk fans are now off Twitter now. They want to get off social media now. And the rest of the world, they started roasting this motherfucker. They started roasting this motherfucker. Let's see some of the highlights that I saw on Twitter today. Now, I'm not sure who this came from. I mean, like, it was just popping up here on here. So forgive me if I don't remember who this came from here. But this is just one of them here. I sucked a blood money covered D and all I got was the undisputed WWE championship. That's just one. Now, there's a lot of Simpsons jokes here that I saw here, but this one here caught my eye. They drove a dump truck full of money to my house. I'm not made of stone. My God. My God. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Now we getting a little bit serious here. We got a Hangman Page picture. Fraudulent Phil's legacy back there with Swerve's house burning down. And then me, which is Hangman. My God. And this is something a lot of people have been bringing up is that, man, for Punk to most likely not winning the title and for Hangman to win the belt, talk about it ends to a means. My God. What else we got here? Hangman was always right. Oh, man. These two men saved AEW. Thank you, Jungle Boy Jack Perry and Hangman Page. Man, these people were not holding back. This was just some of the stuff. And again, I really wish I could have known that Twitter was going to be like this today. When I tell y'all that junk had me dying, it had me dying all day long. And Pepsi, Phil, you deserve this because, again, you want to go out here and be on the moral high ground and make yourself known to the world on what you stand on. And it turns out that you can't stand on nothing, brother. You cannot stand on nothing, brother. Let me get to the chat real quick, see who's here. What's going on, Jim? Punk is sucking that blood money covered D now. What's up, G Nation? Folks, edit Punk's entrance theme to A-Rap Money. Bro, I saw that. And yo, bro, I really, really wish I could have played that. But seeing as how YouTube is about, with copyright and all that, I couldn't play it. But, oh, what a difference. Nothing like performative activism to bite them in the ass. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you. And again, y'all, with Punk basically making it known that what he stands for, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're going to put yourself out there in the open like that, you better stand on it. You better stand on it. But again, he says he's not here to make friends. He's here to make money. But again, one thing that has always been clear, the internet never, ever forgets. Now that we got this stuff out the way, let me go ahead and address the apologists out there. Let me go out there and address the apologists out there. Listen, I get it. Y'all are going through a hard time right now. You're coping right now. And I understand it's very hard to take an L every once in a while, but this is not the type of hill that y'all want to die on. And the biggest thing that I'm seeing now is that certain people are making the interpretation that on last night's promo with Cena and Punk, that this was supposed to be heel Cena trapping CM Punk to go to Saudi Arabia if he wants the WWE title. That's the story that I'm hearing. And so I watched the full segment from last night. I watched it twice. And I'm being honest with you. There was no interpretation at all that I felt or saw that this was the case. What I saw was that CM Punk wanted to fight John Cena on Raw that night. CM Punk being John Cena being a heel, saying, "No, I don't want to do it." And he says, "You have to come fight me at such and such pay-per-view." This isn't anything new, people. This isn't anything new. Are we really going to try to interpret this as John Cena being a heel and somewhat quote unquote tricking CM Punk to go to Saudi Arabia? If that's the case, what kind of logical sense does that even make? This whole thing of he who's the champion holds the power thing never ever works, and it's never ever logical. Why would CM Punk go to Saudi Arabia to fight John Cena as if that's his only chance to get a championship shot? Wouldn't somebody like a Adam Pearce approve of it? Isn't Adam Pearce the it's official guy? So John Cena has that much power just to make matches just like that? Bullshit. Let's stop this. This is professional wrestling. We don't have to pretend and concoct some type of conspiracy theory on what's really going on here. The fact of the matter is, John Cena wants to match in Saudi Arabia, and CM Punk, kayfabe wise, at least from what we're understanding, because Adam Pearce was the one that made it official on his Twitter account, from what I saw, that these two are going to fight in Saudi Arabia. This is not some nonsensical John Cena heel move of him telling, hey, I'm going to force you to face me in Saudi Arabia. He doesn't have to force Punk to face him at Saudi Arabia. What are you guys talking about? That makes no sense. And the crazy thing is that most likely that's what's going to happen here. CM Punk most likely is going to come on Raw. He's going to try to make some bullshit ass story about how he has to go to Saudi Arabia when he doesn't have to. Because again, this is professional wrestling. If this were real, that makes no sense. What are we talking about here? Stop this. We're not stupid over here. I need for some of y'all just to take the L and just, hey, it is what it is. I would appreciate it more for a lot of y'all who want to apologize for this bullshit. Just be like, hey, look, hey, it is what it is. We got to take the L on this one. There's been plenty of L's I had to take with people that I like. I'm like, well, shit. Hey, it is what it is. I'll hold that L. I'll hold that L. But nah, man, like, ain't nobody trying to hear that bullshit, what y'all talking about. Stop it. Let me get to the chat real quick. What's going on, D Darrell? Said it was stale. Man. So we're pretty much off the CM Punk thing right here, but there are some other things that I want to talk about, particularly with NXT. And there was some things that happened with NXT here, but the first thing I want to talk about here is this. I have been noticing this with the NXT women's division for a long time, and I haven't really expounded on it that much. But now that with Stephanie Vaquer now up to the main roster, and seeing as how thin in a way that the NXT women's division is right now, and granted, yes, I am aware that this is developmental, so I'm not going to be too hard on NXT, even though I do think NXT is the funniest show in wrestling. I mean, my God. But I was watching on Twitter this Lainey Reed video package hyping up her match with JC Jane for the NXT title on tonight's show. And I was watching this and I keep having the same thought, particularly when I watch these NXT women's video packages. And it's so eerily similar, but it's kind of sad and kind of a little bit daunting a little bit, even for a bunch of green wrestlers like this. But NXT's production of these video packages is so similar to WOW, Women of Wrestling. These video packages are like David McLean production shit, except for the fact that these are much higher in quality. It's just like the diction of the promos, the angles. It's like everything about them. It's so similar to Dave McLean. And it makes me wonder sometimes if Dave McClain is really working in NXT. Like it's very, very eerily similar and very odd and somewhat a little bit scary. Now, with WoW, I'm not as hard on WoW because I look at WoW for what it is. I watch a lot of their stuff. I really don't take WoW that seriously. So when they do certain things, I just take it for what it is. But man, for the quote unquote, like I really can't say it's quote unquote, but the number one promotion in the world by far, by a country mile, in their developmental territories doing these type of video packages. It's just, especially the promos in the videos, it's just so very Dave McClainish. If you guys ever watch a Dave McClain video pack or video production on WoW, go ahead and watch it and just listen to the diction and the wording of a lot of those promos. It's so similar. It's just really scary to watch. Let me get to the chat. CM Punk can't wrestle anymore. His in-ring performance sucks. Man, look, listen, man, like he's definitely washed at this point. We do know that. They brought up a bunch of ladies to the main rosters. B Slim says it just feels like the Fed just did the barest minimum for them and called it a day. Bro, and like again, that's so similar to Wow Women of Wrestling. Like, look, y'all, like, listen, if y'all go to Women of Wrestling's YouTube page, watch like their actual like profile videos and just listen and just watch them. It's just so similar to the NXT women, except for the fact that NXT has higher production values. It's just so, and I pretty much been thinking that for months now, but I saw this again and I'm doing this live and I just had to bring that up. It's just so weird. Now, some other things that happened on NXT tonight here was the unfortunate scenery of yet again people in the crowd and especially in a warehouse at NXT. And on tonight, we saw a bunch of AAA guys, Mr. Iguana. Oh my God, El Hijo, Dr. Wagner Jr. in the crowd. Like, okay, so look, I have to make this out. I am not understanding this thing with WWE and TNA starting to do this too. What is the point of having wrestlers in the crowd? Now, it's one thing if you're presenting wrestlers as outsiders. Okay, that's one thing. But they made it clear with AAA that they bought AAA. Okay. So why are you treating these AAA guys like they're still outsiders or they're guests? Why are they in the crowd? Why? It's even more ridiculous when WWE does it with their own main roster people or NXT people. Why are they in the crowd like they're fans or they're guests? That's my first thing. The second thing here is, man, so it's quite obvious now that we see how WWE sees AAA, much like they see what TNA is, just bodies just to help the NXT developmental brand. So that's where we are. So we're not going to see no real dream matches. We're not going to see guys like Psycho Clown going up against the likes of who go up against the likes of Punk, for instance, or John Cena, for instance. We're not going to see Psycho Clown and John Cena, for instance. So we're never going to see that. Why? Because we're having Psycho Clown, one of the most over guys in Mexico, being relegated to a warehouse. We got El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. in a warehouse. We got Mr. Iguana in a warehouse. This is just sad. Very, very sad to see. What's going on, Monster Huntress Rune? I can't fault Punk for doing the Saudi event. I'd be a hypocrite because I'm still a fan of the Road Warriors and Hawk went to North Korea. Well, the whole thing about that, Monster, is this. Was Hawk a guy that was going around grandstanding and trying to validate himself as this high moral guy? Because I never knew Hawk to be a high moral guy. And I pretty much went through this with Punk at the beginning of the live stream. So if you go back to the beginning of the live stream, I had all these things about what Punk was, especially when he was in AEW, when he had free reign to do whatever the hell he wanted and came right back and be the biggest hypocrite. That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing. What's going on, JC? And yep. Don't worry. We'll talk about that later. I'll never get that either. Having wrestlers, especially those who are under contract with the company, sitting within the crowd. I just don't understand the logic of that. That makes it's so dumb. It's just so dumb to me. Like, what is the point of that? I don't get it. I do not get that at all. So, some other things I wanted to talk about from NXT, and this was another thing I wanted to talk about when it comes to NXT. And for one particular guy here, and he's the current TNA world champion, Trick Williams. Now, Trick Williams, to me, I do like Trick Williams. I do like Trick Williams. I think he has potential. But it's like with a lot of people has been saying the same thing about him. It's just that he doesn't seem to develop as fast as many people would like. And Trick Williams has been in the company for a while now, for years now. And it's like, I would think the thing he should have down packed by now, in my opinion, especially with his charisma, his look, his attitude, is his promos. I'm more annoyed at his promos than his in-ring work. I know a lot of people want to talk about his in-ring work, and yes, again, he does need more time to develop here, but his promos annoy the shit out of me. They really annoyed the shit out of me. And here's why. Because Trick Williams' wording in his promos, and I'm not sure who writes his promos, but I think the wording in his promos that matches his kayfabe personality, it fits. It's just that the way he presents them, it's just so. The way he presents his promos and the way he executes his promos and the way he talks, it comes off as he's just playing a pro wrestler. It's like, I don't believe in what you're saying. The way he does it, he comes off like a D-list actor. And there was a promo he did, a backstage promo. I think it was the go home show to Battleground. But it was on Impact. So it was the go home Impact to NXT's Battleground. And I was listening to him talk. And the wording I thought was so good. The promo in it was so good. But the way he executes it, it annoys me. I'm just like, dude, why are you talking as if you're playing a pro wrestler instead of being a pro wrestler? Like, make me believe in what you're saying. And it's like, I don't know what they're teaching those guys in the PC, but I'm not sure if I'm the only one that notices this, but every time he speaks, man, I just don't buy it. He sounds so phony. He sounds so fake. He just sounds like he's just the guy who needs to be here. He needs to pay the bills. He just bought a house with his hot ass girlfriend, Alicia Flash. He just did that. He just need to be here just to do the work and leave and go. That's what it comes off like when I hear him talk. It's just so unbelievable, man, and it just annoys me. And I saw this promo tonight. He was talking about Elijah and oh man, who was it? The anyways, Briggs and them. It's like, dude, like I really need to believe in what you're saying. That's it. I really can't believe I went that long about Trick Williams here, but that was just something I had to get off my chest because I can't stand that. Let me get to the chat. Uh, let me see. Let me see. Let me see. G Nation says Hawk was a known racist, so I don't think he would care about morals anyways. Yep, that's true. It's the booking. Trick Williams at 31 years old seemed like he is who he is at this point. Yeah, it's like again, it's like I just don't buy into him. And I was pretty much saying to myself, if that same wording was to Carmelo Hayes, I think Carmelo Hayes would knock that out the park. I think he would have knocked that out the park here. But Trick Williams, his promos annoys me, man. It's just the way he executes it. It's just so it just annoys me. It's like he's only coasting on the whoop that trick chant and he didn't develop sense. Look at Gunther. His promos are horrible. Like so as far as Gunther's promos, I don't think that they're horrible. I just think they just give him a script. I think that's the difference. For me personally, though, but that's what I think. Also, we'll laugh at any young fans of the Fed who thinks that there's the phrase "whoop that trick" came from, and not what it actually means. Oh, bro, yo, like, so you're talking about that time when The Rock was in Memphis, and everybody was saying "whoop that trick," and everybody thought that was for Trick Williams. Now, that right there was funny. That right there was funny to me. So probably the biggest thing that came out of NXT tonight is that we finally know what. So we finally know what former AEW Women's World Champion Mariah May's new name is in WWE. And her new name is, drum roll, please, Blake Monroe. Blake Monroe. That's the new name. A lot of people sounding off about this. Now, honestly, what do I think about the new name? I don't love it, but I don't hate it either. Now, the last name Monroe, I can understand it because it seems like it's a play off of the Marilyn Monroe persona, which is understandable. Okay, fine. Blake, look, listen. Now, obviously, Blake is more of a guy name, but look, I actually do know a woman whose first name is actually Blake. So yes, there are women out there who are named Blake. And one thing I'm noticing too, and I don't know if you guys have been noticing this as well, but I've been noticing some women's wrestlers have been taking some guy names lately. I don't know if there's a psychological thing to that. I don't know if that's some type of mystery tactic for men. I don't know to be more attracted to a woman's character. I don't know. But I've been noticing that lately. Especially on the indies. I've been noticing that. I've been noticing that on the indies, though. I've been noticing that. So, not sure if it's a coincidence here. So, I don't hate it. I don't love it either. I don't have a big issue with the Monroe character. I do think if it was up to me, I would have wanted a more feminine uh first name. I would have preferred a more of a feminine first name. Now, with that, you need at least well, like I think with WWE, they always follow the three syllable rule with names here. So Monroe, that's already two. syllables, so you need at least one more. And yeah, so they got Blake Monroe. So that's really my thoughts with that one. Blake, Blake, the motherfucker. Okay, let me stop. Apparently, the Blake name is a tribute to Mariah May's niece. Oh, okay. Yeah, it is what it is. Boy, this gimmick feels so familiar, almost like it's meant to be timeless. Yep, yep. I peeped that too. This feels more like a sitcom wife from the 50s and 60s who dresses like Marilyn Monroe. Oh shit. Oh man, you fucked up for that one. The problem though is there's a porn star with that. Oh, for real? Wait a minute. For real? Oh no. Hold up. I gotta no. What? No. Oh, no, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold up. Hold up. Wait a minute. I gotta check that. No way. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on. I gotta hold on. Let me check this real quick. No way. Oh no. Oh, I wish I was on camera right now. Oh. No. Oh, yo, what? Bro, this is the second time this happened with that team PCB thing. Bro, now come on now. No, come come on. Also, come on. Oh, well, that's a I gotta delete that one. Anyways, bro, what the fuck? You know what? I was wondering what those people on the Blue Moon podcast was talking about. Because I was driving and I had them in my ear and I heard some about a porn star name. I was like, who are they talking about? To be fair, this is the first time the Fed had it connected. Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, so it's like, how does this keep happening? Because there's no way that this is a coincidence at this point. There's no way this is a coincidence at this point. There's no way. The culture has not changed. This is not a coincidence. I am not convinced this is not a coincidence. I am not convinced. I'm not convinced. Something's going on. There's a pattern going on. Man, listen. Man, listen. Looks just like her, which is the crazy part. Yeah, she does look similar. Man, okay. Man, man, that's crazy. I was gonna be on camera too tonight, man. Yo, bro, man, y'all should have saw my face. Not just when I read that tweet, not tweet, but read that message from JC, but when I actually checked, bro, bro, what the? Oh man, that's crazy. That's crazy. Well, that brings me up to the last thing I want to talk about, and this here happened on NXT, and this is another thing I'm not understanding about WWE these days is that what is the fascination of having upstarts or quote unquote upstarts and you're immediately throwing them into the wolves and you're using this as some type of tactic to see if they're over enough or just setting them straight or where the case is? Because at the end of the day, at least for me as a viewer, I'm looking at them and I'm saying to myself, okay, now what? And that brings me to Obafemi and oh my god, man, I forgot that dude name. Hold on. Now I feel bad. Well, I guess that pretty much proves my point because I knew the dude's name and then he lost and we're back to square one. Hold on. Oh, Jasper Troy. So we had Obafemi and Jasper Troy here. Now, again, I I'm just not understanding the logic of just throwing guys out there to the wolves so early. And then they lose and like, and I'm just saying to myself as a viewer, okay, now what? So unless Jasper Troy at some point is gonna beat Obafemi for the NXT title, I just don't understand why do this. And they've done this with several other guys, especially in NXT. And the reason why I bring up Jasper Troy in particular is that he was the winner of the LFG thing. And then automatically you throw him in there into the wolves. Now, yeah, sure, you had him beat up Obafemi and whatnot, but then you're doing this match so early, and it's just kind of like I'd rather you just take your time with Jasper Troy here. Now, not saying Jasper Troy is buried and he ain't going to recover from this. Not saying that. I mean, sure, he did get a nice rub here and there, but I'm just not understanding the logic of it all. Like, why we got to make it more complicated than what it is? Let the guy get some wins, maybe get a North American title reign for a little bit. Then he goes to the big dogs, just like Obafemi, what he had to do. Obafemi had to do the same thing. So don't get it. I don't get it. It's WWE. Maybe it's not meant for me to understand. B Slim says, I'm sure they'll just rename her Marilyn Blake just to keep it in the same area, but not connected to porn. Maybe so. Jasper something, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I mean, again, like that's what I'm saying. Don't none of us know his name. Yeah, man. It's kind of struggling. It's kind of struggling right now, but but it's pretty much like I said with NXT. It's pretty much a developmental brand. I try not to be too hard on them because there's a developmental brand, and NXT is actually something that I want it to be finally an actual developmental brand. Besides, now it looks like they're gonna bring in a bunch of AAA guys. They're already bringing in TNA guys in, but and plus two, for now, Marilyn or Blake Monroe for now, a former AEW Women's Champion who's been on national television, winning the championship in Wembley Stadium in one of the greatest women's wrestling matches and greatest women's wrestling rivalries of all time. And now she's in a warehouse. Besides all that, I like how NXT is a developmental brand as we stand right now. Anyways, that's all I got here for tonight. I appreciate the laughs tonight because that Blake Monroe thing that caught me way off guard. It has been quite the entertaining day, and I do plan on coming back here tomorrow. No, I don't know what time. I don't know what time because Dynamite is 4 hours tomorrow. I don't know. Dynamite is 4 hours tomorrow or tonight. It's like past midnight over here. I don't know. So if it turns out if I feel like coming live the next day after Dynamite slash Collision is over, I'll come on. If not, I'll come on the next day. But I do got a lot of AEW topics to talk about. So it's pretty much going to be mostly a Fed free topic. I already done Fed stuff for the past 3 days. I actually want to talk about some stuff I actually like and have some more deeper conversations about AEW. So we'll go ahead and do that. But until then, before I go, plus there's still Yoshiki Inamura from Pro Wrestling Noah still there too. Yep, he's still there too. And he got into some type of bickering with AJ Francis. But anyways, guys, I'll go ahead and I will check y'all later.